Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie. This reading will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I don't really like to do long spiels, so keep in mind that these readings will not resonate with everyone. Only take a reading that definitely fits with your life. And remember, there is no gender. So if I pull a king or a queen, I could be talking about anyone, only about the personality that I'm describing. And all the information to contact me for personals, of course, is in the description below. We're just kind of looking at the week ahead, the energy there to look out for. I'm just going to start by pulling these oracle, and then we will get into the tarot. So we have flow. Go with the flow as water trickles down a stream. Do not hurry. We have enabler. Attempts to pacify another by sacrificing their own wants and needs to keep the peace. We have hooked. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. Dear. Love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. We have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. We have my body, my home. I am at peace in my body. My body carries me through the world and I celebrate it. I am at home and fully present in my body. I kind of want to, like kind of the energy as I'm staring at it is that like, of course, these readings are never with judgment. This is just to keep it real. Is that there has been a situation where, I feel like for a lot of you, it's like that you're not actually married, but there's this kind of like shit or get off the pot energy here. It's like you're tired of sacrificing like your wants and needs, or someone is asking you to sacrifice something surrounding like, marriage or a relationship here. There's an anxiety to it though. It's like, I think that when you get into something, maybe there's like, it's like you kind of get hooked and you kind of start sacrificing, and like going with the flow of what someone else wants, or just trying to go with the flow and never really like, set plans, because somewhere, in your mind, there's like, if there's an expectation, there can be a disappointment. There's kind of something here with this where like, because when I see my body, my home, it's like, you're not really present a lot. I feel like there is a real anxiety, especially with step out of your comfort zone surrounding love and marriage. And this could be something that you outwardly say that you want, you know, But what it actually means to you may be skewed. You know, it's like you think that I don't know. I feel like there's this kind of like energy where, like, you know, it's like it takes a lot of sacrificing and attempting to pacify another person. And, you know, it's like this is your idea of like marriage or like long term commitments. It's like it's too much for you or something. There's like you'd rather just sort of like be, you know, what your idea of like present is. I feel like somebody here thinks that like they're wiser than they are because they're intellectual, but they don't have any emotional intelligence. They just believe that they do, if that makes sense. Like someone actually has an absolute fear surrounding real commitment because they, you know, it's like they feel like the expectation, if they were to commit to somebody, is to attempt to pacify by sacrificing their own wants and needs to keep the peace. You know, that it's almost like too high a responsibility, and that things should just flow naturally, you know? So, what I want to say here, though, is like imagine being in someone else's shoes there, you know, and if this doesn't resonate, it just doesn't resonate, right? But imagine being the person who's tired of going with the fucking flow because they're an adult now, you know, and they're kind of looking at you like, you know, are you going to shit or get off the pot? It's kind of like something like this, or this is totally in the reverse. This could be how you're looking at somebody like, you know, you think you're wiser than you are, you know, you think you know, have some type of like emotional intelligence by just completely avoiding, you know, real life shit that's going to be a probable general expectation of any life partner, you know, like I think so, you know, whether it's you or it's another person, they see themselves as intelligent when really they're avoidant. You know, they have anxiety surrounding relationships, um, meaning this is a person who could be absolutely head over heels with someone who doesn't even see relationships like they do. You know, I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, it's almost like leading people on or something like that. You know, it's kind of like the attachment here where people kind of get stuck is almost around this, like this is what could be, while another person feels like, oh, life will just sort of flow naturally, and you know there's no reason to like set an expectation. That's how you don't get disappointed, and they see themselves wise, but actually to the other person they're kind of an asshole, you know. It's kind of the energy I'm getting here, but let's clarify everything with the tarot. Like I think somebody sees themselves as like super mature and wise. They don't realize that they're actually an anxious fool, you know. um, the Two of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Devil, Capricorn energy, the Two of Wands, the Nine of Cups, Justice, Libra energy. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, Aries energy. There are two Emperors in the deck. This one is obnoxious. Interestingly enough, though, I do have the Empress directly after that card. And see how these energies are so like different? You know, I'm not sure which way this is going, whether, you know, it's like there's a crossroads here. You know, somebody can wait and like patiently Yes, like deal with, this is a Queen of Swords. Like deal with somebody's, I feel like, toxic ways, and look at how she's kind of like up on this high horse here. Really she's like on a hot air balloon above, but she's kind of like looking out above and over people and down at people a little bit. This is mostly a card though surrounding boundaries and communication. So it's sort of like, I think for a long time, sort of like, I feel like struggling to really like get a person to make a solid decision, or getting someone to tell you where you were headed, or the other way around, like however this resonates, because understand this can definitely be in the reverse. Like, I think that two people see like the absolute potential in one another, because we have the situation involves marriage. We have the emperor and the empress. It's just what one person's version of marriage is absolutely wrong, and I think that this is like putting a challenge there that shouldn't be. It's like there's something surrounding what it is that you want, and I think that this is either what you want. I feel like it definitely is here. Knowing what you want versus a person who has no fucking clue what they want. A lot of y'all are dealing definitely with the Libra. There's a lot of Libra energy out here, but I also, of course, have some Aries and some Capricorn. This person's just wishy-washy. They don't, it's, again, I feel like this is someone who kind of like is looking down at you because you want something serious, you want to know what direction the relationship is heading in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there's a problem here though, where like for a long time you did patiently wait, and I think that this also misled this person into like to believing that like you're just like a puppet on a string to them or something. That like you'll get fucking married when they feel like marrying you. If ever, or you'll just stay attached to the idea. It's like maybe you thought this whole time that there was like some innocence behind this person, like maybe they just, grew up toxic, or they, you know, there was just something there. Maybe they have a lot of traumas or something, but the whole time this person sort of just had you on a string. It's like a lot of future faking. Like I feel like this is the image of like what you thought you would be. Like this is the potential for yourself in the situation that one day you would be married, you would have children with this person, it would grow, it would blossom, it would bloom. And I feel like the whole time this was just a story you were being like fed. But you see it all now with this Queen of Swords energy. You see all the bullshit, all the lies. Like you know exactly who this person is, and now you know what you want, so you feel okay in this decision of leaving this person. It's like maybe you've been anxious too. Like this person has had you just confused and like all over the place for a long time. And I feel like maybe now it's resonating where not just this person had fucked up ideas about like what is love or what will get them marriage, maybe you did too. I feel like this person is more like more like controlling on like a neediness, and another person is very anxious and like in an avoidant way, and this has just played out in a waste of fucking time. And I feel like you're just finally ready to actually step out of your comfort zone here and get back to this place of peace. I feel like you see somebody for who they really are now, and there's no questions to be asked, and so you can release it. Justice is a good card to get here. It's like the karmic retribution, but I feel like here it's like seeing the full truth of where you played a part in this. and who this person really is. I don't feel like you're looking at this person and like, like these other toxic people where like they were the whole ass problem, no, it's like seeing where like you also were a problem here. You did set an expectation, but it was with a person that didn't make any sense. Um, let's not do that again. I feel like that's just where you're at with it. I feel like you really have like, there's like no love lost, but like you ain't fucking with them. You don't fuck with this person. Like, you can't just go with the flow and just expect a person to change over time. Either people are like, if they start presenting change, okay, but if not, then you're playing yourself. And I feel like that's how you look at this now. That at some point in time you were just delusional here. So in the advice we have the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, Cups, High Priestess. There's your Pisces energy there. I feel like this is just the era to work on yourself here. It's already understanding that, like, you need peace, that you need to be in the present. I do feel like it's time to, one is that I feel like you're like this, maybe you're in this period of nostalgia where you're kind of like looking back over this relationship. And some of these truths can be a little bit painful, but there's also this knowing of like this needed to happen. This was what made you step out of your comfort zone. This is, how you did break free of some type of cycle or pattern here. I feel like you just understand yourself better. It's saying like in the end of all of this, you will just understand everything so much better. But the next chapter is about working on yourself, getting your own stability, getting this commitment that you're looking for, because it's like maybe realizing now, because I feel like in this situation someone made you feel like you weren't worth this, or that you needed to wait longer or prove yourself more for this, you know what I mean? Something like that. And I feel like you've learned a lesson about pacification, right? Knowing something and not saying anything about it, trying to keep the peace, not saying what you know. And how this was like an expectation of you. I feel like this has been a thing that you've done over and over and over again since you were probably a child. Six of Cups cards. Back at family relations. So it's really kind of like this person made you look at the real you. And that was just their purpose here. Now it's time to step into something new. So I like the energy. I'll see you guys soon.